All right, today we're going to dive deep into the heart of ancient Mesoamerica. We're talking about a world where massive pyramids perfectly align with the stars and stone carvings seem to tell a story that, well, it just shouldn't be possible. What if the biggest secrets of our past aren't actually buried, but have been hiding in plain sight this whole time?
So here's the big question, right? It's a question that sits right on the edge of history and science fiction. Did our ancient ancestors really accomplish all their amazing feats completely on their own? Or did they get a little help from somewhere out there in the cosmos?
Now, for decades, there's been this one really controversial theory floating around, and it suggests that the clues to this cosmic connection, they aren't hidden away in some secret vault. No, they're right there, carved into the very foundations of these ancient cities and temples for everyone to see.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we have to start with the theory that's at the heart of it all, the ancient astronaut theory.
So what is it? Well, put simply, it's this idea that what our ancestors wrote down as gods, or angels, or these big mythical beings, were actually flesh and blood visitors from other worlds. And their advanced technology, well, to an ancient human, that would look like nothing short of divine power.
And this quote from Erich von Daniken, man, it just nails it. He's arguing that ancient myths aren't just fairy tales. He thinks they're actual eyewitness accounts of contact with extraterrestrials, just described in the only language that people had back then.
So, where did the theorists even start looking for evidence? Well, first up, the buildings. They argue that some of this architecture is so precise, so incredibly advanced, that it's almost like it's whispering about a kind of knowledge that shouldn't have existed back then.
Take a look at Chichen Itza. This isn't just some pyramid, you know. It's a massive stone calendar built to honor a god. And the Mayan myths, they talk all about Kukulcan, a flying serpent who came down from the sky. This entire building is designed to recreate that incredible arrival.
Okay, so get this. Twice a year, something absolutely incredible happens. As the sun sets, it casts this series of shadows that forms the body of a giant snake. And this snake of light appears to slither all the way down the staircase to join the giant stone head at the very bottom. Proponents of the theory say, come on, that's no coincidence. It's a message, written in stone, reenacting the arrival of their god.
All right, so from the crazy precision of the Maya, we pivot to an even bigger mystery, Teotihuacan. I mean, this place was a massive city, basically the Rome of Mesoamerica. But here's the kicker. It just appears in the historical record, fully formed, a sophisticated metropolis with no known origin story.
And this is what makes Teotihuacan such a headache for historians. There's no written history, no evidence that it grew over time from a smaller village. It's just there. It leaves you with this huge question. Where did this incredible knowledge suddenly come from? Could it have been, well, imported? A kind of technological kickstart from an outside intelligence?
Okay, so we've seen these massive, mysterious cities. But theorists say the proof isn't just in the big stuff. It's in the details, in these smaller, more personal artifacts that tell an even more direct story.
And this might be the most famous and maybe the most controversial artifact in the entire world. It was discovered way back in the 1950s, and ever since, the lid of King Pakal's tomb has been at the center of a massive debate.
So here's the thing. It all depends on what you see when you look at this. Mainstream archaeology sees a really complex symbolic picture of Pakal's journey into the underworld. But ancient astronaut theorists, they see something shockingly modern, a man at the controls of some kind of technological device.
And that's exactly what this quote gets at. It just captures that bombshell idea. For a lot of people, this carving became the smoking gun for the whole theory. What they see as a clear picture of a Mayan king piloting a spaceship back to the stars.
You know, it's not just about interpreting pictures. Now that we can actually read Mayan hieroglyphs, we can see that their kings were always talking about their connection to the gods. It was how they justified their right to rule. So theorists just ask a simple question. What if those gods were the source of their power and knowledge in a very real, physical way?
All right, so we've looked at buildings and carvings, but now we get to what might be the most compelling piece of the puzzle for a lot of people, an understanding of the cosmos that just seems impossibly advanced for its time.
26,000 years. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is a massive, massive span of time. It's incredibly difficult to observe and measure, even for us today.
And yet, the Maya tracked it. This thing called precession. It's the slow wobble of the Earth on its axis.
This cycle is so unbelievably long that for the axis to change just 1 single degree, it takes 72 years. So to calculate the whole 26,000-year cycle, that requires incredibly meticulous observation over many, many generations. How on earth did they do it?
So this is where you get the two big schools of thought, right? The mainstream view gives all the credit to the absolute genius of Mayan astronomers over hundreds of years. But the ancient astronaut theory looks at the Maya's own stories and says maybe this profound knowledge wasn't discovered at all, maybe it was delivered, a literal gift from the gods.
And you can see this incredible precision in things like the Dresden Codex. This isn't just some mystical book, it's a super detailed astronomical almanac. I mean, it tracks the 780-day cycle of Mars perfectly, and it even gives the planet its own distinct symbol, this dragon-like creature. It just shows an absolutely stunning level of planetary observation.
So where does all this leave us? Is it all just a fun what-if story, or are we genuinely starting to uncover a history we never knew existed? The thing is, the search for answers is actually speeding up. Modern tech is changing the game completely. We're talking about LiDAR scans, basically lasers shot from airplanes that have found an entire city the size of Manhattan hidden under the jungle. We're finding hundreds of new artifacts in caves nobody knew were there. Our whole understanding of the past is being rewritten, right now. It seems like the deeper we look, the more we realize just how little we actually know.
And that's the whole idea from the ancient astronaut theory's point of view, right? You don't need all 1,000 pieces of a puzzle to see what the final picture is going to be. Every new site, every new artifact is just another piece clicking into place, maybe revealing a history that is far stranger and way more cosmic than we ever dared to imagine.
So, no matter what you believe, one thing is for sure. Our story is way more complex than what's written in the textbooks. And it really just leaves you with one final, fascinating question. As we keep digging deeper into our past, what else might we find, looking back at us?